Hello and welcome to Fun Fold Friday. This is week 4 and super excited. Kind of sad though because it's our last week of our Fun Fold series. But don't worry, I'll be having another series come up soon. I'll be doing a birthday card series, so look forward to that. Yeah, you can tell my hair wasn't styled today. Oh well, you know. Oh well, it's all about the stamping and not about my hair, right? I just was not feeling like, I don't know, was not feeling it today. I made the mistake of going out and grabbing some fast food for lunch. You know, they say you are what you eat. Well, I had a fillet of fish and some kind of soggy French fries. So I guess I'm a soggy French fry today. Oh, yeah. Ever since I went on my low carb diet and then COVID hit and everything else like that, now if I eat like fast food, it doesn't taste good anymore. I don't know if it's that they've changed, you know, how they prepare things, or it's just my taste buds have completely changed. Don't know. And no, I don't have COVID. So I don't know what it is. I am going to just give it a moment here. If you're joining, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Just so I can, oh, where'd it go? Just so I can see things going here. Oops, what happened? I lost my feed. Let's see if it's on my other screen. Here it is. Okay. There we go. I'm back. All right. I'm just going to give it a moment or two for people to join on. I'm going to get a little sip of iced tea here. One of my favorite beverages, iced tea. Right up there with Diet Coke. I really do love my Diet Coke. But iced tea is just as good. It's actually better for you because there's no sugar in it. I drink unsweetened. So, yeah, fresh brewed iced tea is always good. Okay, let's see. Now here's that. Let's see if I can see some comments. So again, if you're joining me, say hello. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that I'm actually broadcasting. And as soon as I see some people come on, I'll flip down my camera. So let's see, what else can I talk about? How about some of the stamp sets that we're going to use today? We are going to be using the Playing in the Rain stamp set and dies. We'll be using Something Fancy. And the third one that we'll be using is an oldie but yet a goodie, Painted Poppies. As you know, in April, Stampin' Up! will announce their retiring list, and I'm sure that probably some of these will be on that list. I don't know which ones yet, so like you, I'm anxiously awaiting. And sometimes during the end of year retiring things, sometimes they have things go on sale. I don't know which things will go on sale because I don't even know what things are going to retire. I'll find out at the end of the month. And as soon as I have that list, I will share it with you. Also know that there's going to be a color refresh. So what that means is some of your favorite colors may be going and some of your old favorites may be coming back. We don't know. We won't find that out until March 29th, I believe. So yeah, we have like a day to prepare. So just warn you in advance. April 1st, that means colors are going to go off market really quick because everyone will freak out and they'll want to buy everything right away. So cardstock and refills and ink typically don't go on sale. Dies, sometimes embellishments, stamp sets might go on sale for a little bit less, but cardstock and ink and stamp heads will not. So if you have a favorite color and you're worried about not having those re-inkers, make sure you get those because you won't be able to get them later on. And if you call me or email me and say, can you get this? I'm going to tell you, no, I gave you a warning. I told you I may have something, but not necessarily. Like I do actually have an extra Rococo Rose. I don't know how, or Rose, yeah, Rococo Rose. For some reason, I ended up with a couple extra re-inkers on that one. I don't know, so it happens, but I usually don't have extras. I usually buy an extra one for myself so that I have it with my ink pad because there are certain colors that I still love to use, and I'll have extra designer series paper, so I still like to know that I have my stamps that will coordinate with that paper. And after some point, then I usually sell off my stuff, but usually not right away. So make sure you stock up on your things. Hi, Beth. How are you tonight? So let's see what else is coming up. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. I am actually doing our Taco Fiesta class. And that is where if you purchase $150 during the 2 months of celebration, I create a class just for you, and my gift as being a wonderful supporter of my business, I am also gifting you that stamp set. So I also offered a incentive to my downline, so those on my team, based on their sales, they got to get this class for free too. And so tomorrow I'm having folks over, and we're going to have some 7-layer taco salad, and we'll be doing our cards. And then on Sunday, we'll be doing an online Zoom one, and I actually will be doing it remote. So let's see, Beth, what did you say here? I'm not seeing her comment now. Where did it go? Let me go back to it. Well, that's just weird. Okay. It's super delayed. Okay, here it is. Now I'm seeing it. It was gone before I discovered stamping. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're doing better today. You're not as sore today? Beth, if you really want that, I have that, and I can send it to you, because I don't ever use that color. It's, again, it's a pink. I'm not really a pink girl. I'm surprised I use pink as much as I have in this last year, but I'm usually not a pink girl. I don't know. I am using pink tonight, though. I know, it's going to be a little bit of a shocker. And I'm using flowers. Flowers and pink. Okay, let me get my feet going over here. So, oh, that's not what I wanted. So I can see the comments. Let's see, comments. All right. Alrighty, there we go. And maybe I can see some more in just a bit. All right. Oh, every time I click on that, it goes to full screen, and it's not full screen that I want. There we go. I don't know how it works. It just does. Okay. I'm going to flip my camera down, so if you can see a sec, close your eyes. And hopefully my camera will stay where it's supposed to today, because last night it kept flipping down on me. All right. Am I seeing my tabletop yet? Yes, we are. Okay. And Cooper, of course, is in here playing. He likes to play while I stamp. Actually, he only does this when I'm live. Usually, if I'm just here stamping, he will just chill out and not be a problem. But no, when I'm live, as soon as he hears me talk, he gets all excited, runs around the room, grabs whatever he can, shreds whatever toy he finds. The silly, silly pup. He's not really a pup anymore. Are you? You're an old man. But you got your happy face on. Do you have your happy face on? Do you have your stamping face on? I had to keep talking to him because he kept turning his head. And every once in a while, he'll look like the RCA dog. Do you remember the RCA commercials? Yeah. When he was a puppy, he really looked like that. Okay, so what is the Funfold class? So our Funfold class is, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to make 3 different cards, 3 different Funfolds, and this class is available to you when you purchase $35 in my online store. Now, there should be a link like on the post. I'll make sure to put that in the comments and everything as well. Actually, I can probably do that right now while I'm thinking of it. Let's see. Where did I put it? Okay, let's see here. I think I sent out an email today about the Funfold class. So let me just grab it so I can put the link in there. So anyways, when you spend $35 in my online store, you are going to get a handy-dandy little packet with all the materials that you need to create 6 cards. So you'll get 3 of each card. So I'm just kind of showing you what some of your packets will look like. Okay. So you'll get three different card sets. Some of it will be different colors because based on how our designer series paper is, I have to just cut what I have in those piles. So some of them will differ. And this goes with this one. Okay. All right. So I had my cards made out before. I'll show you my original design. We'll go through the cards, we'll make it, and then I'll show you my original design. But this way you get to see it from start to finish. And let's go here. Let's see if I can get to my email. Where is my email? Oh, there it is. Found it. And I'm sorry, I'm really congested, so I'm probably sounding a little nasally. I apologize for that. There's not a whole lot I can do. Ooh, that's not the one I want. Okay, let's see. Well, where did it go? Here it is. All right, here it is. So here's the link. It's an abbreviated link that you'll see. And here's the host code. If you use that link I just put in the comments, it will jump you right to my Stampin' Up! Store, so you don't even have to worry about typing in that code. But if you're on my email list, you would have gotten the email today with the host code, links, and also you will have gotten links to the other 3 weeks. So if you're not on my email list, make sure you subscribe, and I'll put that in there too. Oh, I can't see what I'm typing, so. All right, let's just get that, and I think I have it in this one here. And this, I'm just kind of waiting for just a couple more people to join on, and then we'll get started. Okay, let's see here. That's the one I want, and copy that and paste that right here. Okay. So let's get started on our first card. So I'll show you what this first card looks like. Now I've done this one a while back, and it was, a year or two ago that I did this one, but look at this cute little fun fold. So we're going to be making that today, and I'm going to go through, again, all the dimensions, all the sizes. When you get your class kit, you will get an email with a step-by-step tutorial with pictures. So like, as we're doing it, I take pictures along the way so you can see all the different steps so that you can make sure that you're doing your fun fold so it will work for you. All right, let me just get this out of the way because I won't need that right now. And I'll be bringing in the different, just got my little directions off to my side here. I'll be bringing in the different kind of designer series paper that we used as we go through so you can see what that is in case you like it and want to purchase it. So the first designer series paper we're using is this Raindrops, and this is from our Rain or Shine designer series paper. Now this is specialty paper because you can kind of see it's got an embossed look to it, so it's really fun. Now everyone's kit's gonna be a little different. You might get a piece of this, you might get a piece of this. It's okay. The card will still work the same. Then also in this designer series paper, it's just stinking adorable. And actually, I think I have, this was my February class to go. I think I may actually have 2 of these left. So there's just all sorts of fun things in here. So I really love this paper. Isn't this cute? Let me show you a quick card with that one. I just had that card out because I thought it was such a cute card. I'm going to make sure I want to make extras of these because I thought I really liked that card. Isn't that cute? And that was using this paper here. Okay. All right. I'll get the paper out of the way. We'll get started on our kit. Now, if you have this paper, we're going to be stamping our little bunny today, but you can also, die cut that out, or you can fussy cut it out. So just letting you know. That will not, I will not be sending a piece of that with. Okay. So here are your 2 class packets. I only need 1. So pull this out. I have got, oh, I don't need this out either. Move that out of the way before it gets all over the place. I have a piece of old olive cardstock. This measures 8.5 by 5.5. And I haven't done the scoring. I'm going to do all the scoring with you while you're watching the video tonight. So I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. So again, standard size, 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm scoring that right at 4 1/4. This is going to be my card base. All right. Now, whenever you're doing fun folds, make sure you have your handy dandy bone folder so that you can get a nice crease. And I was just looking for something more solid to put underneath my work surface here so I could get a nice crease. Oh, here, I got something. My handy dandy clipboard. All right. I have a mat underneath my table there, so when I'm stamping, I don't need to pull in a mat when I'm using the photopolymer. So sometimes when I'm creasing, it doesn't give me a nice crease. All right, so that's our first piece. Our next piece here is a thick piece of basic white. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to score this along the 8-inch side at, if my scoring blade would stay in there, I think it's time for a new trimmer. So I'm going to score at 2 inches, 3.5 inches, 5.5 inches, all right. So then what I have is my inside panel. Let's move this out of the way. All right, so this is going to go on the inside of my card. So I want to fold my cardstock this way. Again, bring this in, give it a nice press. Okay, this one is going to go back this way. Nice little press. And this one is going to fold this way. All right, so this one's the inside, down and down. So we're going to have this little kind of shape. All right. Next step I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and put this in. Oh, I can't yet because I'm going to die cut this. Oh, please. We'll put this in just a moment. I'm going to now take my things out of the way. I need a rectangle die. That's a circle. That's not going to work. I need a rectangle die, so I'm pulling in my rectangle dies. And I'm going to use this here. So this is the fourth from 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth from the biggest. All right. I also did use this one. So in your little paper packet, you will have had a larger and smaller rectangle. So those are those two sizes. This size is going to be die cut right in the front of your card base. So I'm going to put this one away since I've already done that. Now let's bring in our, now what I want to do is I want to make sure I put this right in the middle. So I like to take a piece of tape here. I'm just going to put it right here for right now. I want to take my, I want to take this, and this may be a little thicker than I'm planning on going through my die cut machine. Normally the pattern that I use for designer series paper usually has a thinner piece of designer series paper, but we're going to give it a whirl. Now, I am going to adhere this onto my card front first, but I want to make sure I don't put any adhesive around the inside. So I am just going to go along the edges, and I'm going to use my Seal Plus here. I want to make sure that this is going to stick. It's not going to pop off. Again, I want to get as close to the edge as I can. And whenever I'm creating a fun fold, I always use a strong adhesive, and I don't skimp on the adhesive. All right. So just make sure if you have directional paper, which way your direction's going. To me, I think the raindrops go this way. I have seen some people seen it go this way, but I think that's upside down. So I feel this way is the correct way. My personal opinion. You can change it up if you want. All right, so now I want this. I'm going to just kind of put that right in the middle, eyeball it there, and I'm just going to put a piece of Post-it note tape. You can use washi tape, whatever you have, just to hold it in place. I'll bring in my die cut machine, and I do have to use the big die because my paper is 5.5 inches wide. So if I don't use the big die, it won't fit. So I'm going to run this through. All right. Now in the directions that I'll have, it tells you basically the rough size of that rectangle. So if you don't have a die cut machine or you don't have rectangle dies, you know what to cut. You can trim it with your trimmer. All right, and I'm going through this. I'm going to do it like 3 times here. And it's clunking because I don't have that at an angle like I should have. But I want to make sure it's cutting through both pieces of my paper there. Oh, and it came out perfect. Great. All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, so now I have my little window opening there. And I have this, and I have this. So I can use this for a future card. All right, there we go. So just put those 2 aside. And we'll put this away. All right. Put my Post-it note tape away. I'll just tape that right on my lamp there. All right. Next thing I want to do now is okay. I want to stamp my sentiment here before I do anything else, because there's nothing worse than assembling your card and finding your sentiment is smudged or whatever else happened to it. So I'm going to just grab my stamp set here. And again, I'm using Playing in the Rain. So I am going to just put rainy days are, I'm going to do Oh Happy Day on the inside. No, let's see. Oh Happy Day, rainy days are better with you. I'm going to put Oh Rainy Days are better with you on the inside. Sorry, I was having a dilemma at figuring out what I wanted to do. And for grins and giggles, I think I'm going to stamp my clouds there too. So I'm going to grab my Balmy Blue ink. And I hope this will fit in there. How is there fuzz everywhere? What did you get into? There's like an explosion of fluff all over the room. All right, let's move this out of the way for right now. And let's go ahead and kind of fold that back so it's sitting flat. Let's grab some blocks here. We'll grab a scrap piece of paper here. Let's grab the back of my instruction sheet there. All right. So I'm going to take my clouds. And actually, I think I'm going to stamp my clouds across both of these panels. Put those up here. Like that. Oh, since I got a little boo-boo there, I'm just going to go one more cloud. There we go. All right. Close that up. Get my scrub out here. Spray my mist on there. Nice and clean. Nice and clean stamps. All right. Now I'm going to take my Rainy Days Are Better With You. And I've got my black memento here. Oh, I was going to stamp this with, let's see how my old olive pad is. I grabbed it out earlier, but I think I forgot to re-ink it. So, I think I'm going to go with the Mossy Meadow. Just because that's needs to be re-inked and it's not very dark. Ooh, that one got really inky. Well, I must have just re-inked that one. Okay, I'm going between one that's barely inked and one that has a lot. Okay, so I'm going to gently tap in here. And it's still really inky. All right. So you ever have that problem? Take a spoon and kind of pull back some of your ink. Just move it off to one side. All right. And I'm going to grab a paper towel here. Clean my spoon off. And put right back in my little tool caddy. All right, let's clean this off. And now we'll go on that part that I... Okay, that's better. All right, so now I'm just going to put this over on this side. There we go. And close this up because it is way, way too juicy. All right. I'll have to start stamping a lot with that one. Okay. Next up. Now, I'm going to take this. All right. And make sure that's dry. Just blowing on it a little bit because, like I said, it was a little juicy. All right. So how I'm positioning this is I am just taking this flap here and laying it on the inside of my card. All right. So I want to make sure that's going to be going like that. I don't want to adhere it right now. What I want to do is make sure that this is in the right spot. Okay. All right. So you see I have this piece over here, and I'm going right to my score line right there. Not totally against it. It's not real tight. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but that's where I want this to go. All right. So let's try it. Let's give it a whirl. All right. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of here. Before I press it down again, I'm going to just layer it like that. I'll put that right up to the side. There we go. All right, I'm not going to push on it yet because I want to make sure that this is going to work, that this will close nicely. There we go, and it will open. All right, perfect. Now I can press that down. All right. So that's this part. Now, before we do anything else, we need to kind of get our little pieces, our mechanisms in here. So I've got my white rectangle, and I've got my smaller white rectangle. And what I'm going to end up doing is I need to adhere. It's funny because on my sheet I put the right side, and I think I want to adhere it to my left side. Hold on. Okay, okay. Oh, I can adhere it now. Okay. All right. I'm just going to put adhesive right along here. Just like that. Okay. Push that down. Now that way, that opens just as I go. And I think I need to add just a little bit along the top here. So for that case, because I've kind of added that there, I'm going to just take my liquid glue. And I'm just going to put just a little bit along, I know it's kind of hard to see, along the bottom right here. Not a whole lot, just a little bit, if I can get it going. Now it's going to goosh out on me. Okay, there's a little glue booger in there. There we go. All right, I just want to be careful so it doesn't get all over the place. I'll go on this side and do it along here too. Just a little bit. All right. You don't want to go any adhesive past this score line here. You just, because you want it to stay like that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I have my handy dandy little little guys here, and you know, I forgot what the heck they're called. My handy dandy little mini clothespins. I like to use these when I'm using 3D projects or things like that, things that have to kind of be held together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pinch those. Wipe off that extra glue I had there. Oh, yeah, I got a little extra glue there too. So let's get that off. Make sure that dries. I'm going to actually take in my little eraser here. Let's get some of that glue off because I do not want that to seal my card shut. All right. So we're just going to let that dry for a moment. I'm going to take my smaller rectangle here. I'm going to do some stamping on that. And so let's get our little handy dandy little kit here. Let's get our little bunny rabbit. I'm hoping he'll fit on there. Oh, yes, he will. Perfect. I didn't think to measure it before I actually was planning this card. I'm just like, oh, yeah, it'll fit. Sometimes you need to plan. All right. Hi, Helen. All right. So let's get that inked up well. And let's stamp that on the front. This is such a cute set. I just love it. Now, I want to stamp it further down. I want, because I want to make sure I have room for my sentiment. All right, so there's that. Let's close that up. Let's bring back in that really juicy pad here. And make sure that we don't press really hard with the stamp in there. I have to get this one clean. Just put that off to the side. Kind of keep my area a little neater than normal because I don't want to make boo-boos on my cards. So just kind of picking up as we go here. Okay. I want to take my sentiment, which is under here. And I feel like I'm crooked here. What happened? What happened? Okay. Oh, well. Guess I'm a little crooked. All right. So I've got my Oh Happy Day. All right. It's really juicy. Now I'm going to center that right above my bunny here. And make sure I'm cleaning on the right side here. All right. Close this thing up. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some coloring. And I'm just going to bring back in my scrap here. Yeah, we can use this piece. The other piece has all my measurements written on, so I don't want to mess that one up. And I'm just going to pull in some blends. I'm not going to do a lot of coloring here. I've got my daffodil, I've got Flirty Flamingo, and Smoky Slate. So the first thing I'm going to do is with the light Flirty Flamingo, I'm just going to add a little color in his ears here. And we'll do his little nose. We'll make his nose pink. And you know what? We'll give him some little cheeks here. All right. Okay. Let's make his little coat yellow, because I always think of yellow raincoats. I don't know why, I just do. It could be really any color. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever matches the cardstock that you're using. So the way I designed these classes is you can use any stamp set that you have. Any stamp sets and ink in your stash. You don't have to necessarily have the stamp sets that I'm using. If you want to make it exactly like I'm doing, then yeah, you need to have the stuff that I have. But you don't have to. I like to make sure that you all can use the things that you have, that you don't always feel like you have to buy something new. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love for you to buy something new, but you don't have to. All right. And maybe you already have this stamp set. So I am just going to go ahead and put some darker balmy blue here. And then I'll come back in with my lighter balmy blue. Now, with this, I am able to do this because I'm going to have something on the back. If this were going to be seen on the inside of the card, you're going to see that. So, but we're going to be placing this on top of another rectangle. Okay. And now, you know, I really don't even have to add color, but I think I'm just going to add a little bit, like around his foot here, maybe in the bottom, just to give a little color. You know what? I decided I'm going to color the whole bunny in. We'll make a little gray bunny. Because I can. Hello, Amy. How are you tonight? Helen, I promise I will walk down your kit for Sunday. Right after this, I have to go grocery shopping, so I have all the supplies I need for tomorrow. And if you feel like if you want to come over tomorrow and even, bring your projects that you're working on, you can come over and have some lunch. Give you a little break. Helen has a craft fair coming up that she's preparing for. So like I said, if you need a little break, you're more than welcome to come on up. All right. I think I'm going to go over that pink a little bit. Kind of blend it in so it's not as bright. And I think I need to order a new Smoky Slate blend because it sure isn't coloring very nicely. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So, oh yeah, oh, well, that didn't work well. I think this side of my blend is like almost out. It's weird. You'd think they'd both be out at the same time, but all right. Okay, so there we go. Isn't he stinking cute? He just makes me happy. And so I think we need a little bit of rain on there to kind of coordinate with our cardstock. So I'm going to grab my little raindrops from the stamp set. Put my little happy day back. And Helen, you are so right. Putting these inside your stamp case. Yes, great idea. Because I've gotten more space back in my room by doing that. All right, so I'm going to stamp this off a little bit. I don't want these real noticeable. Here we go. And I don't think I really need too many. There we go. Okay. Oh, well, maybe I need some more mist on there. So did you wear Baker out? Is he all pooped now? I think Saturday morning before people come over, I'm going to have to take Cooper and take him for a WALK. And yes, by the way, my dog does know how to spell, which is kind of hard sometimes because we'll be talking about a WALK or we'll be talking about RIDE, and he knows what I'm talking about. Dang dog. He acts like he's stupid sometimes, but he's a very smart dog. All right. Just trying to get all my stamps to fit back in their case. Okay. All right. Get all those things back out. Okay. Next up. Don't need this here anymore. Now, I need to bring in this and this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some dimensionals behind this. So let's see here. You know what? I'm just going to use these leftover strips here. So we'll just... All right, I'll put them right here. And... right here, just like that. Going to center this right on my rectangle there. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this to my right panel. So the right side will have adhesive right here and here. When I do that, I want to make sure that I'm actually getting this fit in. I can take these little things off now. I want this to fit in because I want this to be able to open, right? So let's put some adhesive down there. If yours is kind of snug, you can trim this down just a little bit with some scissors and it'll be fine. All right. So again, go on my right-hand side here. And again, I'm using some strong adhesive. All right. So pull this in. I'm going to get that all lined up there. Okay, make sure that lifts. All right. So now there is your card. So when it's closed, it'll be like that. And when it opens, you'll have that. So Fun Fold 1. I have no idea what to call this Fun Fold. No idea. So it's Fun Fold 1 for week 4. Oh, okay. Let's see. So he gets wild when you leave the house and come back? Or do you get him all tired before you leave the house? Okay. So I'm just putting some things away so I can get started on the next card. Actually trying to be a little more organized. All right. I don't need this stamp pad, and I don't need those two, I don't think. Put those away. And I'll put this over here. Okay. Oh, so I'd show you back my original design. So this was my original one with this, and I think this was, what, 2 celebrations ago that I made this one? Yeah, same card, and look, just by having different designer series paper and a stamp set makes a totally different card. Amy, he's just wild because he loves you. All right. Sorry, had to get a beverage. I'm a little thirsty, a little dehydrated this week, I think. All right. I'll put those in here so I know I have them done. And when I go to look for them, they're on my right. They're over on my right. Okay. Next card. I don't need these anymore, so let's put these right in my little rolling cart behind me. You know, the fun part about having a new catalog come out is I can get, like, clear out everything and start collecting again. All right. So this time, we're making this Fun Fold. All right. So this is with the Let's Set Sail. I really like this one a lot, but I didn't want to redo it again. I wanted to use something different. So we are using a piece of the Wash with Flowers Designer Series paper. This is available in our annual catalog. Love these. I mean, they're just fun and bright and vibrant. So when you get your class kit, you're going to be getting 2 different pieces of the paper. So it'll be a random 2 pieces, but whatever cardstock I send will match with whatever designer paper that you get with it. Right. So those are all the different fun patterns. And on the other side, there is just all sorts of solids. All right. So even if you weren't a big flower fan, you can still use the other side because there's some really fun things in there. So that's that one. I leave that out. So again, you'll be getting, that goes with my other kit. Oh no. I don't have the right size paper in there. I cut the paper wrong twice. Oh no, I didn't. Crack myself up. Okay, so I have a piece of thick basic white. This measures 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Okay, my scoring blade keeps popping out of my trimmer. It is kind of driving me a little crazy. That's not my scoring blade. Where'd it go? Again, this trimmer is probably pretty old. I got it when it first came out. I think it's time for a new one. Like, the whole piece here works. I think it's just this guide is just kind of worn. I use it every single day. So, and I use it lots. So it's not like it's not been loved. All right. It's not like it's defective. It is well used, I should say. All right. Let's get back in my phone folder here. Right. Okay. All right, next. Let me get my directions here. I have all my measurements written down. So on my blue here, this is Balmy Blue, This measures 5 by 8. And we're going to score at 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4. And if you go all the way to this edge right here, that's 6 inches. Yeah, we had like calming things with hemp, and that didn't work either. We actually have him on this joint supplement, which actually it works really well for his anxiety. Can't tell you what the name of it is. It's downstairs. I'm upstairs. All right. So this is how our piece here will look. Now, we're going to have some fun layering with our layering circle dies. So we're going to do that first. Oh, let's see here. What did I do wrong? I need a piece of white, and I forgot to cut that. So let me find my piece of white here. I need a small piece of white. This will all be in your kit. I just happened to forget to cut a piece here. All right, this piece will measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. It's going to be a square. And it fell out again. Oh, what am I going to do? Because I'm going to need that. Oh, please, while I look for that darn scoring blade. The other one fell earlier today, too, and I didn't feel like looking for it. And now I'm going to have to look for it. Where did it go? I mean, oh, it's way over here. Okay, well, I'm just going to put that right there so I know where it is. I'm sure I will ask all of you shortly going, where is that piece again? Okay, so this is going to be going right in here like that. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to be cutting a circle out of here and a circle from here. So what I will need is 2 different circles. So on my balmy blue, I'm going to take a larger circle. And this is the one I want to use. And then I'm going to take a slightly smaller circle. Let's see if this is the size I want. Yeah, I think this is going to be the size. That should give me about a 1/4 inch there. Let's see. Yeah, that'll give me a good 1/4 inch. All right. So step 1. I need to run this one and then this one through. So let's get this up here. And I need to replace one of my plates here because it's gotten really yucky. So I think it's time to throw it away. I'll try to clean it later. But I'll grab this one. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just center this like so. And hopefully it's centered. All right. It doesn't really look centered, does it? Well, we're going with it. It doesn't have to be exact because I gave you a little bit of wiggle room by having 3 3/4 square. All right, so now we're going to take our larger square. I'm going to center it on my cardstock here. And you know, I'm going to actually move it up a little bit. What is the... I'm using the pansies. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I did here, I just taped it down the center. I moved it up towards the top just a little bit. And then we'll just run this one through. Now again, you can use any stamp set that you have and any designer series paper. This is just a extra scrap for you. All right. The next thing I want to do, I want to put this, I want to put this right inside. So when I flip this over, I will see a little bit of that white. All right, so what I'm going to need to do here is I'm just going to put some adhesive on my corners. All right. And then I'm going to come back in with this. And I'm going to just center that. Before I push it down real hard, I just want to make sure that I'm not causing any issues in the back there. Sometimes you might need to trim it if you don't have it, you know, nice and straight. All right, now notice here that I have those score lines. We're going to need those on that white, so just fold it, all right? Because you want your card eventually to pop, okay? So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my designer series paper. We're going to decorate this up a little bit. I'm going to do some stamping in the center here, but I want to really get my papers all set and kind of in place. So before we stamp on that, I'm going to take our designer series paper and we're going to cut 3 strips that are, oh, let's see, 1 3/4 inch by 5 1/4. So we'll do our 1 3/4. So I need 3 of those. Well, someone must be here. My son must have just gotten home from work. All right, and now I want to cut this at, oh, I have this darn piece of hair that keeps popping over here. 1 1/4 or 5 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to kind of put these back together just so they're all, I can do them all at one time. And I usually like to go from this to this because this is my straight edge and that way I know that those are going to stay straight. All right, just scraps, throw them away, use them if you want, whatever you want. All right. So let's decorate our inside here. Uh-oh, I measured these wrong. These should actually, I lied on the height. I forgot that was 5 inches. So I actually want this to be 4 7/8, not 5 1/4. So it is easier for me to see the 4 7/8 from this side. So 4 7/8. Because I want it just a tad smaller than is that gonna, you know what, I'm gonna have to go to, I lied to you again. It's gonna be 4 3/4. Otherwise it won't look right. I just went on there and I'm like, that didn't work out good. All right. I line these up. All right. So 4 3/4. So 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. I will have them correct on the tutorial. And then just decide what pieces you want where. Right, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down. Just center them on that panel. Again, if you're not the florally type person, use the other side. If the flowers don't go with the stamps that they're using, flip your paper over. All right, so there's that. And this piece is going to be for the front of our card, so I'm just going to put that aside for right now. Because now I need to do my stamping so I can get this assembled on the inside. All right. So this is going to be here like this. And when I close my card, it'll go like that. So what I need to do, actually, just trying to figure out the best way to attach this. I want to line my score lines up here. And so what I can do here is put my adhesive. Right here. Again, make sure you have enough adhesive there. All right. And I want to close this. So hold that that way. Hold my card closed here. Okay, it's not wanting to fold. All right. Now, I haven't adhered the other side yet, and I don't have it. That's not lined up straight. It moved on me. If you ever have this problem where you need to lift cardstock up from something you've adhered on, you can grab, even if you have really strong adhesive, if you grab some dental floss and slide it underneath, that will also help you lift it. All right, I'm not going to try and fold it closed. I'm just going to match my score line right there in the middle and then just press it down. All right, I didn't do this side yet specifically because I want to do my stamping here. But to help me know where I need to stamp, I need to grab a little pencil here. And this is not ideally the pencil I want to use. I like the little mechanical pencils because I like the white eraser. So let's see, do I have any? I do. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put my top right here and here. Okay, just so I have an idea of where that is. But this will allow me to go in and erase those marks by not having that side down. So if you want to make sure too that you know where the other side is, just go ahead and make your 4 little tick marks. That way you know that you want your sentiment and everything else right in the middle there. So let's grab our, I'm going to be stamping on white and then die cutting these out. I just need a sentiment here. So I'm going to pull in my something fancy. And actually what might actually be cute is if I take this. So I'm just going to kind of lay this out right now to see how I want to stamp that. Kind of like that right there. And then let's do a, let's see. This is, I don't know, this isn't quite the set I want to use for words. So let's change it up. That was going to be on my other card anyway. So let's grab a different sentiment set. Oh my gosh. All right, and I think I'm going to go with the, I'm going to pull in the sentiment set that goes with that Poppy Parade, or that Poppy set. All right. And I like this stamp set because it seems to have like an inside and outside. So let's see how this will fit in there. And so I can use this one and this one. So I'm going to do wishing you every happiness this special day will bring on the outside, and I'm going to put happy birthday on the inside. All right. So now I know where I want to be stamping my things. So I can fold this out. I know that they'll fit in there. And we're going to take this one first. I am going to be using Stays On with this one because I'm going to come in with my blend, my blender pen. Okay. And I'm going to color with that. All right, now I'm getting a little messy here. Let's just put some of these things back. I need to get them out of my way. Ooh, those almost went flying. They did go flying. I'm going to take these 2 extra pieces and just slide them in there. All right, move those out of my way. Okay, let's get our stays on here. Ink up my flowers. Because these flowers are so small, it's pretty easy to color with your, and actually before I did that, I should have really stamped my sentiment. The reason I should have stamped my sentiment first is so I know how high up I should go with my, get a little buzz from this stuff. Whew. Let's stamp that off a couple times so I can clean it. All right. And I'm going to bring this one more time because now I kind of let it dry a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to put right about here. That looks good. And I really should have probably done my stamping before I scored that, but oh well. Life will go on. So now let's grab our little markers. And where did my markers go? Here we go. I'm just going to take some of the colors that are on my designer series paper here. So this is actually Mary Merlot and Polished Pink, believe it or not. Yes, I'm using pink. I know it's kind of a shock. Deep breath, it's okay. So I've got my Mary Merlot marker and my Polished Pink one. Okay, so these colors are leaving us. So if you need your markers, order your markers. Okay, so we're just going to color. I think I'm going to start on the bottom with some of these, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dark on the bottom. Not on all of them, but on some of them, or right in the middle. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll do this one too, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with this. And I'm not really like coloring, I'm kind of just tapping my marker in there because, like I said, it is such a small area. Tapping seems to work okay. And it's okay if I have a little bit of white. So in this one here, where it didn't quite stamp, I'm just going to go ahead and color. No one will know the difference. We'll draw some stems, and no one will be the wiser. Okay, I know this part takes long. It's like watching paint dry, right? So what is everyone's plans for the weekend? Anything fun? I'm going to be stamping all weekend. Well, I have to clean. I have to cook a little bit. You know, do those normal household chores. And stamping on Saturday. And then I drive up to Grafton to pick my mom up. And then stamping on Sunday. I will be prepping class kits so that they're ready to go this week. I don't have too many this time. I'm really squeezing my pen tight. I don't know why. I'm kind of getting a cramp in my hand. Okay, again, like I said, I am just tapping color in there. I think this image is probably my favorite from this stamp set. I'm not sure why, but it is. Now I want to add a little color in here. So I'm going to grab my blending brush and make sure I grab my blue and not my green. Okay. And I'm going to bring back in my pad here. But before I do that, I need to get rid of my little pencil marks. So where did my pencil go? All right, can't find it. All right, let's try this. Okay. All right. So I'll grab this. And I think we actually might even grab a little bit of green. So I'll start with my balmy blue and my scrap paper here. So you've seen me do the blends before. And I have to get the piece that is not my instructions. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color right in here. Being careful because that score line is picking up more of my color than everywhere else. So I'm kind of just trying to avoid it a little bit. All right. See how pretty that is? And you know, I was going to do a little bit of green on the bottom, but the green's not going to even show. So we're just going to be content with our balmy blue. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this side. And we still have the front yet to cover. All right. So now just make sure your card will close. It is a puffier card, so you don't want to have too many like embellishments that stick too high up on the front. You will most likely have to have extra postage on this one when you put it in because you have so much extra cardstock there. But it just makes for a fun card. All right. Let's decorate our front now. And we need to also do our little flowers. So let's grab out this piece right here. And I think we'll do the flowers first, then we'll do our front. And I want to take, I want to take my Mary Merlot and my polished pink. I know, I wouldn't think that these two colors go together, but they do. Look, see, they do. All right, so we'll grab our handy dandy little set in here. I'm going to start with my polished pink. And did I get that all cleaned off? No, did not. Hold please. Forgot to clean my stamp. Okay. All right. Put that one right back there. And I'm going to use this larger piece here. Not that big block. This one. I want. I don't know. I kind of like the lighter one. All right. Well, you know what? We can do one of each. So I'll do one dark and one light. All right. Clean that off. And then we'll come back in with our flower here. So we'll do one this size and one this size. So grab this. And we'll do this one in full force. Now, it's not meant to fit perfectly. And I guess I had to ink this one up. This is not a color I use very often, so not sure why it would have been out of color, but it is. Must have just dried out. Good thing I only have like 4 of those re-inkers. I don't know how I ended up with... I had like 4 Blackberry Bliss and 4 Mary Merlot. I don't know why. I must have forgot that I had them and kept ordering them. I don't know. Some days. Oop. Oh, this is all like full of something. Okay. Hopefully I just get a little piece of that. There's like embossing powder on my stamp, on the sticky part of my stamp. So I have to get that cleaned. All right. So then we'll do this one right here. There we go. I almost like this better. So we're gonna do it again. This goes with that stamp set. All right. Just gonna flip that one over. And on this side. Let's just close this up so we don't need it again. I just felt like that Mary Merlot showed up on the light better. Okay. So now I run this to the die cut machine. I need to remember to flip my to flip that over. Okay. Stay there. Got things kind of flying all over there. So let's get that cut. And I also want to grab an embossing folder. Okay. Oops, I need that there. All right, dies, where are you? So I've got the 2 different dies here. And this is just a matter of rotating your die around until you get how it should fit on there. All right, let's see here. I need to find this here. Okay, this looks like it might go over here. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just sitting over here, just rotating my die around, trying to get this to line up. Because I know it lines up. Okay. Nothing more frustrating than trying to get this done on a live and not being able to do it. There we go. Got it. I don't got it. I don't know where my other mat went. Where'd it go? With this one. With this one. Oh, there it is. It's sneaking behind something. Oh, that's not it. That was my Stamparatus plate. Well, where in the world could this have gone? Again, never arrive until I lose something. All right. Well, it's got to be here somewhere. I know I had it earlier. Well, I don't know how things just disappear. Hey, I found my other scoring blade. Okay. Well, we'll just come over and grab a new mat. I probably have another one here. There we go. Got a little bummed. I don't know where to put that one though. And as soon as I'm done, with the live, I'll find it. All right. No worries. I know a person who has some extra plates. Oh, I found it. It was on the bottom. Oh, good grief. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Thanks for hanging around while I just had kind of a small seizure there. Every day something fun with Beth, right? Okay. I cracked myself up. All right. And I need one more other piece of cardstock here to cut my tag out. And where's my happiness? There it is. I just want to make sure that that will fit right in there, and it sure does. All right. Oh, not done with that, because I need to emboss now. Let's see. What embossing folder should I use? It's like magic. A whole stack of embossing folders. I think we're going to use this one. Now that's a darn good question. I don't remember where I used my plate last. I really don't remember using it last, and I don't know where I might have put it. Was it up there? No. Okay, let's try a different embossing folder. Something that's not 3D. Is this 3D? Yeah. All right, let's find a non-3D embossing folder because I don't have my plate. Well, the raindrop one is non-3D because that's 3D. Let's see if we have another one that's non-3D here. That's 3D. All right, all of them are 3D. Okay, we'll just use the raindrops then. I know I saw it. Where did I put it? Is it with this one? Oh, here it is. Yay, I can use the folder I want now. Don't you just hate that? Like you have your mind set on using something and then you can't. All right, what did I just do with the folder? And I have my balmy blue cardstock here, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. Bring back in the embossing folder. Then we'll put our stamps away and get our mess kind of cleaned up, because we have one card left, and that one's not too bad. These two were the longer ones. Now this embossing folder is in our January to July. I'm sorry. It used to be January to July. Our January to April mini catalog, which is going to be ending pretty soon. So if you like this, I think this is great, like a cane weave, especially for like Easter cards. Okay, so let's get our little pieces here. All right, I'm gonna put these all back away so I don't lose them. All right, I need that one out. That goes to a different stamp set. That one goes here. This one goes here. I gotta get that clean too. All right, and let's grab our sentiment set back out. Okay. I'm going to just stamp with our stays on here. I just keep looking at this because I think my stamp pad is on this one is pretty dry too. And you know, it's funny because I just re-inked all of my stuff. I apparently missed some. Oh, well, I didn't stamp that very straight, did I? Good thing it has another side. All right, bring it down towards me. I must have my label on crooked. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be what it's going to be. All right, let's bring this in. I am going to use liquid glue on this one this time. And you all know why, right? Because you got your little nooks and crannies here that you need that glue to kind of ooze into to make sure it stays on your card. Yeah, I'm going to lay this flat on my work surface here so that way I can actually get this to lay flat. It's handmade needs fun. Yes. All right. I'm going to put this strip on here just like that. Again, using the liquid glue. I'm going to put this at an angle since I stamped it badly. I'm going to put it at an angle. It's going to be popped up on dimensionals and at an angle. There's always a way to hide a mistake. And if there's not, then you know what? Stamp it over. Just saying. Don't stress. All right. So I do want to have a little bit of something on there. And I am going to use this thin balmy blue ribbon. It's a variegated ribbon. So we're just going to make a really, I'm just going to loop this like this. That's what I'm going to do. It's such a flimsy ribbon that there's not, I don't know, I'm challenged with using it sometimes because it's so thin. I like it. It's pretty. It's just really thin. So all right, so I have it like that. There we go. All right, so that's my outside. Now I'm going to add my little things for the inside here. Now, when I do this, if I actually would adhere that down right there, it would get bent. So we don't want to put that one there. Maybe we'll put it up, but maybe we'll just do it here and here. So you just got to kind of play around with your flowers, get them to fit. I really like how this one looks like. Maybe I'll just use it on the front. Oh, there we go. There we go. That fits nicely. And I'll just go ahead and put a little bit of liquid glue on there. try to remember how I got it to fit. All right. Just make sure your liquid glue doesn't go on the inside. All right. That might kind of did a little bit. All right. Oh, no, it didn't. All right, so there we go. So there is our second card. Shoo! That one took a little bit. It's worth it, though. It's a very pretty card. All right. So let me show you some other examples I made with this one. So you saw the first one I brought out. And the other one, my initial one I did was this one. But then I thought, oh, I just need some better sparkle. Now you could use regular white. However, it's going to be a little bit flimsy. You really do want the sturdiness of the thick. You can definitely feel the sturdiness of it. So when you're using it, again, it'll be thicker to mail, but totally worth it in the long run. Let's go ahead and put some embellishments on here. I feel it needs some sparkle. So let's see what I have handy dandy for sparkle. I mean, I know I have lots of sparkle, right? Look at all this sparkle. I want to use the sequins is what I'm looking for. I had them out yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to use those. So I threw them in here. That's a brand new pack. I don't want to open that one. Oh, come on. La la la, where'd they go? That's a brand new pack. Just when you want to find something, right? My goodness, where did they go? I had them out yesterday. Alright, well, I guess we use that. And what are you gonna bum? I want to use the rest of my little sparkle sequins. Alright. You know, and I don't often, when I'm doing my designing, I don't often think about my embellishments right away. They're kind of my last thought. So I don't always have them out. I'm like, oh yeah, embellishments. Gotta add those. Here it is. That's what I was looking for. Now I'm happy. Alright. I really felt this pink and blue would be really cute on here. That's why I wanted to use it. Hello, Becky. How are you? I didn't say hi before. I'm sorry. All right. So let's just pick some of these up. Oh, come on. Stay. And what's fun about these is I could really choose to add them on the inside of my card as well, because they're flat. So we can add some little extra bling on the inside. I think we'll add one more. One more where? We'll add a blue one over here. All right. Come on. Get off the putty. Let go. All right. So just a little extra. There. I'm feeling completed now. All right. All right, next. What are we doing next? We're doing our third card. And really, that one won't take as long. Promise? All right. Okay. We don't need that. We don't need this. Just pick up a little bit here so it's not so messy. All right, put these in our little box. All right, don't need this. Put that away. All right. Okay, so now our third card here, you'll be getting a little bit different design. Again, this is with the, this is the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. So again, this, it's going to be totally random on what pieces you get because it's, you know, a variety pack. So it depends on how many kits are ordered. Will be depending on what pattern you get. Your cardstock will definitely match the colors in the designer series paper. They really will. And your 2 panels will match. You're not going to have some, you know, really off colors. You're going to have matching. You're going to have matchy stuff. It'll be okay. Oh, right. That doesn't want to slide in there. I had the same problem earlier. There we go. Okay. So, one of the cards I happened to grab was Fresh Freesia, and this, and then the blue, the navy. I kind of like that in Pool Party. So, I'm going to work with this one. I already used pink today. I'm good. And I kind of started my project here. So, I guess I really should use the other one, but okay. No, I'm going to stay with that one. Okay. So, I have a piece of cardstock here that measures, let me get to my measurements, please. Put all the stamp sets away that I'm not using. Stamps away that I'm not using. Block away. And this measures, here's my notes. This piece measures 5.5 by 10.5. Okay, a little bit smaller than, you know, a half sheet. You're only going to get one of these out of your 8.5 by 11 piece cardstock. Okay, you're going to score both sides at 3.25. So you come here at 3.25. If you want to go over here at 7.25, you can. Otherwise, just when you put this in the trimmer in your scoring tool, I just go 3.5, or I'm sorry, 3.25. I flip my paper around and 3.25. Because sometimes measurements are hard. I get it. So there we go. Just like that. Right. I probably should use this so you can see actually. It's a little harder to see on that dark color. We can still use that. Will work fine. All right. Now the next thing I did here is I took, again, a pencil. And just put a pencil here. And I'm going to measure. This time I'm taking my ruler. I find it easier sometimes to use my ruler when I'm doing these. So from the top here, I'm going to measure down 1 3/4 inch. And I'm going to put a little tick mark there. I got to make sure I have 1 3/4. Okay, I can't see where my 1 3/4 is. Here it is. 1.5, 1 3/4. Is that 1 3/4? My eyeballs are, I don't know what's with my eyeballs. I can't see it. Let me try this one. There we go. Okay, 1 3/4 was right here. All right. So I'm going to end up erasing that, but, and then from the bottom, I'm doing 3/4 inch. So 3/4 inch. All right. So I'm doing it on this side, and I'm going to do it on this side. All right. As long as your 2 pieces are at the same height. All right. I have to just turn this so I can see it better. So this is my top. So I'm going down 1 3/4 and putting a little mark. And then for my bottom, I'm doing 3/4 inch. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I'll bring my trimmer back in. And I'm going to line up my score line here. So this top to my little tick mark, right? So slide your paper in so it's not getting hung up anywhere. You might have to go this way with it. All right, again, you want to go from your score line to your little tick mark there. And you're going to trim that off. All right. So hold on your cutting guide there and zip it through, all right? Then you're going to go your bottom tick mark to the score line. There's probably a better way to do this, but this way I know how. All right, just like that. Okay, then we're going to flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. So tick mark to score line. Again, tick mark to score line. There we go. Okay, now if your tick marks are still showing, go ahead and bring in your eraser and get those lines out of there, because you are going to see that if you don't erase it. It's like I have one over here that I can see. So I'm just going to take that off. Okay, I cut pretty good on this one. All right. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my paper. Now, depending on how busy your paper is, it's going to depend on where you're going to put your mark, but make sure, okay, your card is going to fold in like this, okay? So what I like to make sure I'm doing is make sure which direction my paper is going. If you have directional paper, or let's say your paper has that ombre effect, you want to make sure that you have, you know, both sets of the ombre going in the right direction, okay? So I have this one there and this one here. So on this one, the one that's going to go on the right panel, I'm going to mark it on my left-hand side. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to measure again down to 1. Okay, let's do it this way. Easier for me to see. So 1 3/4. Right, and then I have my 3/4 over here. It's a little hard to see, I know, but now we're going to go from that tick mark to your corner, right? This piece happens to be, probably should have told you that first, right? Happens to be 5 inches by 4 inches. Why is it cut 5 inches by 4 inches? It should be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Okay. Hold please while I correct the remedy the situation. I need to remedy my situation here. All right. I guess I'll use this piece. Can't believe I almost blew that, because I would have been really bummed out. All right, 4 1/4 by 5. So, pencil, stay over where you're supposed to. Oh, you know, I know what I did wrong completely. My DSP should measure 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 inches wide. I was, for some reason, thinking the whole piece, but you're going to do it 3 inches wide. 3 inches wide, right? So 5 1/4 by 3 inches. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's start over. So you're still doing your original cut line at 1 3/4 and 3/4 from the bottom. Now for your designer series paper, you want to have 2 pieces that measure 5 1/4 by 3. So based on which way you're cutting your cardstock, know what your dimension has to be. All right. So it's up to you which way you're going to go. I kind of thinking that I'm going to go this way. So I want this to be 3 inches. Why? What is this getting stuck on? Sorry, I was getting stuck and it wasn't sitting in my trimmer right. So 3 inches. By 5 1/4. I kind of like that bigger flower on there. That one. Oh well. All right. Come back in with this. Now this is going to fit on this panel like that, but we just need to cut it at our angle. Right? You could even use this side if you wanted, but I'm using this side. So from the top, so if I'm doing this panel here, I need to measure on this side, and maybe decide which side you want one on. All right. That's the one on this side. This one on this side. So when it's my right panel, I want to mark it on the left side. So grab back in the pencil. That's a pen. So let's mark this at 1 3/4. And then down on this side at 3/4. All right. I'm going to do this one right away just because I know where it's marked, and it's going to be easier for me to find if I just do it right now. So again, I'm going from my little tick mark to my point. And my tick mark to my point. I do one at a time, especially if I think I may have messed it up. So this way I can say, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it's not going to work. Oh, yeah, okay, it's going to work. All right. So here's my one side. Because then if I try to do it on this side, I'm like, oh, it's not going to fit. It's not going to fit. So do one side at a time. Make sure you have it on the right direction. Because it is frustrating if you do it and then you realize, I cut it the wrong way. So the piece that's going to go on your left side of your card, the left side of your card, you need to mark on the right side. So you're doing opposite of the side you'll be adhering it to. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So here we go. So my 1 1/4 and my 3/4. You know, this ruler is really hard to tell your 3/4 is. So that's 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'm going to do this little angle first. And then I'm going to do this one. So both for your cardstock and your designer series paper, your angles are still going to be cut the same. All right, so now those are going to go right on just like that. So let's go ahead, let's adhere those on. I'm going to use my liquid glue because this way I have that wiggle room and I can move it so it's just where I want it to be. All right. This is, you know, when I'm doing things like this, this is one of the reasons I like to use designer series paper that is not directional, because it never fails. I end up cutting it wrong. And then I'm left with a scrap I've got to design around, which I've done, but it's just not what you're planning on, right? Okay. All right, so here we go. You decide which way you want your flap to go. All right, next, what I want to do is I am just going to be tying a bow around here. So I'm going to grab in my fresh freesia ribbon. Maybe I'm grabbing my fresh freesia ribbon. What did I do with it? It fell. Okay. Oh, I have fresh freesia. Oh, this one it is. It fell off my ribbon shelf. All right. So I do want to put a piece of cardstock on the inside here. So we're going to just have a piece of basic white. And we're just going to be cutting that down to 4 1/4 by, I'm sorry, 4 by 4. My gosh, I can't get my measurements spoken today. 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, I drive myself crazy when I do that. So 4 by 5 1/4 is the insert for your card. All right. No, it didn't fit. On my original design, I didn't have an insert, so I was just assuming it was. All right, so I did 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. It was just a little too snug in there, so I wanted it to be just a tad smaller. All right, Let's stamp a message in there. Okay, we'll stamp it on front. We'll stamp it on back. We'll use our little fancy schmancy tags. Something fancy dies. Or fancy schmancy thing here. And I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to use the little flowers here. So I'm going to show you how you die cut those. So we'll take our scrap piece of white here. And actually maybe, no, I'll just do it in here. I was going to bring in the mini die cut machine, but you'll be able to see it. I'll slide this through so you can see. All right, again, I'm going to need my little washi tape or my Post-it note tape. And I'm going to take my tag. I can pick my tag up. And my tag here. I'm going to take this little thing right here and I'm going to try and line it up. It's really hard to do upside down. All right. Okay. Once I think I have it kind of in place, I'm just going to take my Post-it note tape there. And it's really just to keep those two together. It's not really to adhere it to my plate or anything. It's just to make sure it's going to line up. All right. So let's run this through. And wait for it. It cuts out this cute little flower out of your tag. Isn't that cute? All right. I thought it was really cute. Okay, now let's grab a sentiment. Sentiment. What kind of sentiment do I want to use? All right. I don't have these all mounted, so I think I'll have to flip to the front to see what is on my sentiments here. All right. So I think it's I like this. Here's to a beautiful beginnings and a happily ever after. We'll make this kind of a wedding card, right? Because that's a nice big sentiment right to fit on that tag. So now here, I just need to grab, I'm going to grab Granny Apple Green just because it's on there. It's kind of bright. It will really pop. I could grab Gorgeous Grape too, but we're going to grab Granny Apple Green. All right. And we'll almost be done with this card. All right. There we go. Okay. Get this closed and let's see. What do we want to do for the inside here? We can just do congratulations. Let's try that again. Good thing for reversible paper, right? I don't know why. This stamp is really kind of cut funny. I don't know why that one was like that. The other ones are all fine. All right. Go ahead and adhere this on the inside. If I had extra paper, I could go ahead and cut out some flowers, die cut them, whatever, and put them right on there. I could take a scrap of what I had from the outside, but if I do that, you're going to see it. Okay, so if you don't want to see the white, you can take your scraps and you can overlap them just like that. And you won't see that white there. Right. So we'll just go ahead and put that one on. Put this one on. We'll add a little ribbon on the front. Okay. Yeah. And when we do this, we don't want to have this adhered over onto this other piece because we want to make sure you can open it. But I do want to have it so it can be tied shut. So let's take our ribbon. Because one of the fun things about this, you could take a gift card and use a glue dot and attach your gift card right to the inside on either one of the flaps. Just saying. Quick and easy little thing. All right. So I'm just going to tie my bow off to this side. I don't need that much ribbon. Just make sure it's flat. Was it twisted? No. Twisted Ribbon. Sounds like a new band, hey? Twisted Ribbon. Twisted Sister. Twisted Ribbon. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me tonight on St. Patrick's Day. I'm sure glad that you spent your time with me. Maybe you have other plans to go out this evening. I am going grocery shopping, and other than that, that's it. We're not fans of going out anymore on St. Patrick's Day. We used to when we were young and stupid. Okay, young and foolish. Okay, just young. Because we may still be foolish on occasion. All right. So notice I'm not adhering that down anywhere, but that can be untied very easily so they can get to their goodiness inside. I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Yeah, I can put 2 on the top. And then we'll just do one in the middle here and one in the bottom. I don't want that to like get squashed, but I don't also want it attached to the other side. So I'm just going to lay it on my ribbon like that. They can untie that and still get this open, but it still kind of holds it in place. All right. So that is our final card. Let me just put this back before I forget I have it out. And I'll bring in the other couple cards. And let's see. Don't know what I do with stamps, so we'll worry about that later. All right. So, again, if you would like this class, when you place a $30 order in my online store, or a $35 order in my online store, I will be sending this to you along with the PDF tutorial with lots of pictures and directions so that you can see how this is made. So just to give you a little idea, I do show you how those are all done. So that way, as you're assembling it, you can have a visual other than just watching. The link will always be in the video, in the tutorial as well, so you can always come back and watch it. All right. So here was our surprise, our little hidden message. Not really hidden, but, you know. So we kind of stepped it up this week a little bit. So for our last week of Fun Folds, I wanted to give you something extra fun. So thanks for joining me tonight. Have an awesome weekend. Those of you that I will see this weekend, I can't wait. It'll be fun to do a Zoom event and an in-person event to be able to talk and chat with people. I miss always talking with people and just being the one to chitter-chatter away. So if I'm not going to see you, have a great weekend. Spend it with people that love you and that you love. Enjoy your time with those people. Life is too short not to enjoy your time. Take care, and thank you all. I appreciate you so much.